So the reason that I'm a Quaker is I believe that there is a possibility of a life beyond fear and guilt. I believe that there's a potential in which we foster our own internal capacity for wisdom and compassion in this way that shifts our center, our who's in the driver's seat, perhaps of our lives, of what sort of is coming up, and how it's processed in this way that starts to manifest in really creative and courageous lives. There was a time in my life when I really wanted to strike fear from my heart, and I realized that what I was doing was trying to ignore and like sublimate these really powerful emotions and feelings, and it bubbles up, and I was trying to like force it down, sort of like a beach ball in the swimming pool, right? So that it just pops up here or pops up there. As I realized through worship that I could invite my fear and I could invite my guilt into the conversation without it controlling me, without it determining how I behaved and how I act, it started to sort of diminish. And as those passions diminish, what I think you start to find is this capacity for compassion or empathy or co-suffering that's latent down there. And so in Meaningful Worship, as you sort of like have this ember, you start to like blow on it a little bit, and it becomes brighter and brighter. I think this is why John says that perfect love casts out fear. It's not that the opposite of love is hate, right? It's the opposite of love is fear. Meeting for worship only really makes sense in a context where someone has some discipline throughout the week, where they are allowing those fears and those shoulds and those needs and those pangs of guilt and the criticisms of their internal parents or internal boss or whatnot, and all that stuff is able to sort of come up and just be held in the light, held in such a way that it loses its authority.
Hello, on behalf of the Friends World Committee for Consultation, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you click here to subscribe.
Great. Thank you.